I would like to begin this episode by thanking some folks. Folks like Liar, Brent, Kane Judkins, Owen Mitchell, and Andy O. All of these are people who have gone to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv, kicked us a few bucks a month, helped support the network, and got cool stuff in return. You can be like them by going to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Thank you.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we're talking about Bugsnax, which is an adventure game developed and published by Young Horses for contemporary systems in 2020.
Yeah. This is an executive produced episode by Cody. Thank you, Cody.
Cody. The game that swept the meme world by storm with its admittedly very catchy theme song.
It was a real throwback to like the Plants vs. Zombies Portal days.
Yeah.
When you could just have like a cool pop song and that'd be your thing. We haven't, very rarely for us. So This is a game neither of us played before we did it for the show, and we haven't talked about it.
I
have no idea where you're at on this. You have no idea where I'm at on it. It is a mystery where it's like a vow renewal. Kind of thing. Like it's really freshened up the relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was going to be like a vow renewal, like, okay, and if anybody objects, and then all the kids stand up.
Just like, listen, this is it's like we've gone to one of those second honeymoon things. Like you know exactly what old man Butterfield's going to say about Metal Gear Solid 5, but you don't know anything about. I am very surprised to say I like this.
Yeah.
It is so many things that are poison to me.
Yes.
And those poisonous things were still poisonous during it. Like there were things that still felt bad to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a snack, and it's weird in a way that is compelling.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there with you. The thing that is poisonous to me is going to probably be a little bit frustrating for some people listening to this who were really into it, which is, boy, this is cloying. Wow, this is way too. And we've got the Huffleschmump, and he's over here, and he's floopty, and like it kind of contributes to a bit of a sameness.
There's a real set of Schnorbos in this. Like Schnorbo is a nerd.
Yeah, Schnorbo
says nerdy things.
Right. So it's real like Yo Gabba Gabba. What are those called? The Teletubbies kind of feel for me. And it spends a lot of time setting that up, and there is a twist to this, right?
Yep.
It is not enough of a twist to make me feel. I feel like this is a little bit on the Doki Doki Literature Club kind of value proposition of curve, where you're putting you're putting in a good
pretend to be.
Yeah, you're putting in a good amount of time with a bunch of Muppets with names that I can't tell, with names that are the names that I would make up to talk about them flippantly.
Yeah, it does sound like we're making fun of it.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot of that for a twist, but like narratively, the twist is kind of like it. They paid too much for it on the front end for what we got. That said, mechanically, I really like going around and catching these little doodads. It's like a Pokemon Snap Ape Escape kind of deal. Yeah,
it's a weird. It's turning you into me because you're thinking about the proportion of the game spent on the what you pay versus what you get. Which is a real Gary thing where like that 80% Schnorpo likes raspberries, but he hates sunshine.
Yeah.
Like that part is outweighed or is outweighing rather, no matter anything on the other side of the equation. Like couldn't really justify that.
Yeah.
It's a thing too where like I'm real similar in that. Like I do like catching the little guys. I by no means got all of them. I just did, what you're supposed to do in a couple side quests. For me, it wasn't the cloyingness. It was the weird kitty flatness of the characters.
I guess I lump that in because I also
very
think
similar.
that.
Yeah. Like the when I was talking about how like I might be done with fucking kids media, like this was informing it of these characters who have one like a goofy voice and one extremely exaggerated trait.
Yeah.
Like the characters do change. This game gets a lot of praise for like taking its characters seriously. And weirdly enough, for its writing, I think all these characters are too talky and annoying. And I think that their arcs are incredibly obvious.
Yes.
Like everybody learns the only obvious lesson you could learn for having that archetype. And they do it at length.
Yep.
And they do it talking directly to the camera in cliches and a very annoying voice almost all the time.
Yes.
I liked catching little guys, but more than that, I like the weirdness and I like the little guys.
Yeah.
It activated my Pokemon thing where it's like, hey, there's a Stoodler. It's an animated stew. It walks around going Stoodler, and a fork is part of it. That buys a lot for me.
There's a centipede made of ribs, spare ribs, and somebody says, "Oh, it only looks like it has bones." Oh, yes,
it's just you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's even better raw. Like just like they're even better frozen. Just eats the whole. Like that part is great.
Yeah,
just the fucked up little dudes, but none of them are the horrible little Muppets that I'm supposed to be friends with.
Yeah,
I hate these Muppets.
It feels like what I would watch, like when I would go over to an extremely Christian friend's house, like not VeggieTales, but like they knew that I'm not religious, so they put on like the most secular VeggieTales that they had.
Yeah, it's like bring me something in a secular VeggieTales.
Yeah,
this is not that different than something in a secular VeggieTales.
Yeah,
with a patina of weirdness and body horror that is like pretty great, but again is not as much as you maybe want.
It's pretty great, but it confuses a little bit for me who this is for.
I have no idea because the 80% where it's just like Schnorp likes rainbows, like that shit is death
to me. Like I just want to get out in front there. Like I said, my complaints about the tone and saccharineness of this, that's totally a taste thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Like I'm confused. I'm confused about who it's for, and the answer is lots of people, because people like this game. It was a fun indie success that people got and spent some time with. And then its moment passed, and most of those people are people my age. I'm willing to be the odd one out here, but I do think that there is some confusion, kind of in the tone and premise of it.
It is real strange. It's real weird when you hide your light under a bushel. In this way, a bushel of lollipops, and Dorculus likes kitty cats, but boy, he hates caves. Yeah. There's a thing that reminds me of this, and I know you're not going to follow me on this, but it's just a comparison that popped up in my head.
Okay.
It's a work that I consider to be better. The emphasis on goofy voices reminded me of Homestar of this. I think Homestar is better, even though I'm not a Homestar person. Yep. But just the person walks up and just does cartoon voice number 4. Like aspect of this, that was the immediate touchstone to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
The exaggerated cartoony voices of this suck. And it's not that I hate like cartoony voices, like in general. Their voices I find very charming.
Yeah.
There's a weird feeling where everybody in this don't feel like they're talking to each other. So every performance is to the cheap seats,
which is weird because apparently, if you look up like the Sony blog about it, there's a little there's a little bit more production detail about this than usual. But like they made a big point of getting everybody in the same room to record together. Yeah.
But they got a bunch of theater kids who all wanted to be in the spotlight to do it. It feels like,
but also like these are relatively big names in voice acting.
Well, I know, and they know it. Like they're just very like, oh, like they're all John Lovett's doing the acting thing from SNL.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, like oh, you have a Minnesota accent. Do that to fucking 11.
Yeah.
Oh, you sing everything. And it kills the pacing of the dialogue like fucking dead.
Yeah.
It's amazing how slow some of the talkie scenes in this can feel. No jokes. I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but
we really are. But that's what happens when we don't talk about it.
I know we don't. I've had pent up Bugsnax feelings for a while. I've been Bugsnax-dipated for a little bit, and I need relief. So yeah, we'll get into all of that jazz. The basic concept: you're a reporter. You travel to a remote island to cover an explorer's discovery of these bugs that look like snacks. They are called Bugsnax. Snacks as defined as anything from like a rack of ribs, or a sandwich to a bag of peanuts or like a daiquiri.
Yes. Yeah. Any kind of food stuff. But when you arrive, you find that the explorer, her name is Lizbert, that you came to talk to, she's disappeared. And the town that she had built is in disarray in her absence. So you have to help the inhabitants, like draw them back to town so they can start working together again, and solve the mystery of what happened to the explorer and ultimately figure out what's going on with the island itself.
Yes, which is the interesting part of this.
Yes.
Like everyone needs to work together and stand together and be friends, even though they don't like each other and don't have anything in common, is not as good. Even though there are several relationships as well among it, but they're very flat. The people are not humans. They're actionably Muppets.
Yeah.
They're called Grumpuses. They look exactly like a mall kiosk that will make a Muppet of you. Like they all just look like a Muppet.
Yeah.
And the Bugsnax are food Pokemon. That contain like they are a platonic ideal of a food.
Yes.
So it's not like, a single French fry that kind of has legs and stuff. It is a French fry container with a bunch of fries and then googly eyes and little feet on it.
Yeah. It's like a French fry container and the fries are sticking out of it as legs and it's called a frieder.
Yes.
A lot
and
of
it's
these
a miracle, and I love him.
Oh, I want them. I would eat them, and terrible things would happen. But like, I don't know.
I try it.
I try it once.
The way they describe it sounds like good in a way, like in a horrible Hypnotoad way. Like,
yeah.
I guess this is a good time too. We keep saying there's a darkness. We're going to talk about spoilers. This is a 2-year-old game.
Yes.
And the most interesting things about it are the spoilers. Like this is a thing where it does benefit from going in not knowing anything about it. So if you think you will play this, it's worth playing it before the show. It's a real trifle. It's short. It's not asking very much, but I don't want to dance around the twist because the twist makes everything that comes before it worth talking about.
Right.
There's not a whole lot there if we are coy boys. Coy boy. if we're going to be coy boys along with the game.
Yeah. So consider this your spoiler warning /wall.
Yes.
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. They're parasites.
Yeah. They want you to eat them. They don't actually taste good. They just trick you into thinking they taste good.
And as
they
you
look like
eat
the thing you want.
As you eat them, it exaggerates your personality and makes you want more of them. It makes you dependent on them. As you eat them, they replace parts of your body, which is something that was immediately creepy to me when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
And it never stopped being creepy the entire time, to the point where when it was revealed, like, oh yeah, they're doing this. And I was like, I saw it. You all seemed you all seemed pretty blasé about this.
Yeah. For no real reason.
My leg is strawberries now. Oh no.
Yeah. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And then their ultimate end game is to make you enough of them that you just shatter into a bunch of foods that are these creatures.
Yeah.
In one of the best image that happens in this game, like you replace your parts, you ship of Theseus yourself enough until you are just a bunch of food, until that food just scatters into groceries that crawl away like cockroaches when the lights go on.
Hey Gary. This is an accidental theme month, because with Bugsnax, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Carrion, we've got tons of parasites.
We do have a lot of parasites. It is Parasite Month. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So that is the twist. There's no real explanation why everyone acts like this is normal. You know, you can ask that, like the tone is weird. That's when we gets into the who is this for kind of thing. Because you're a reporter. At no point can you just be like, why the fuck is this okay?
Yeah.
You know, which would be the number one question.
Right. At one point, they try and feed one to you. They say, "Oh, you should try one. If you can write about Bugsnax, you should eat one." There's an option that you can get to say, "No, I'd rather not."
Yeah,
but they force you to anyway because that's a story beat. But
yeah, and if you do, you're allergic, which is why you're not susceptible to the parasite. But everyone else is.
Yes,
you happen to just have the immunity there. So you go and you talk to these Muppets, and they give you a little quest to feed them specific Bugsnax. The quest structure is very like that's always the quest. And then the gameplay is in catching those Bugsnax. The core loop of this is figuring out how to use a relatively limited arsenal of tools in the environment to catch different Bugsnax, either Pokemon Snap style, like luring them out, or slightly more complicated by like making them vulnerable or making them fight each other, things like that.
Yeah.
This is generally fun. It has like this like weird geo elemental system that ends up making it a little bit limited. You know, there are fewer kind of tools in this than you might think. Like things are either on fire or they're cold. Things are either, you know, flying or on the ground. Like it is very modular.
Yeah. The snacks themselves have different likes and dislikes for sauces. You have a slingshot that shoots sauces. They call it the sauce slinger in the most ill-advised item name I have ever heard.
The sauce slinger?
Oh, yeah. Check out my sauce slinger over here. Bo!
It is like you check out the sauce slinger on that guy.
Yeah.
Like, just say I went to the urinal to check out the sauce slingers. You know, it's rough stuff.
But like you pick up different kinds of sauces, and different Bugsnax have preferences. Either they like them or they're afraid of them, but they do not actually interact that differently. It's just kind of keys for different locks on them.
Yeah, avoid or, you know, move towards or move away.
Yes.
You know, like it's a deceptively simple game. I mean, I guess that's not deceptively simple. It portrays itself as very simple.
Yes.
Your arc is like, this is nothing. You know, this is a Pokemon Snap level of interactivity. I love Pokemon Snap, but it's very low level of interactivity. And then it gets, you're like, oh shit, there might be hidden deaths here. I have 6 tool slots. There's all these sauces. This is going to be some like Dwarf Fortress emergent gameplay shit, you know? And then it dials it way back. Like, no, you know, things are hot or cold, and they like or dislike sauces. Yeah. You know, and they can or cannot be caught. Like there aren't a lot of tricks.
There's a certain amount of jank that makes it, you know, difficult to figure out, difficult to execute a plan that you might put together. And there's, you know, some fun in that, you know, figuring out, okay, I can launch the trap. Oh, that's cool. I can launch it. And then, I need to make sure that I time it, or I need to, I can coat this monster with a sauce, and then this other one will run into it. It won't work all the time. It's not strictly modular, like, you know, yes, no, whether or not something works. That is the majority of the time you're going to spend, though, as opposed to, you know, figuring out which of the limited pieces you have to put together to get the result that you want. Ostensibly
a puzzle game, but does not require puzzling in the way that you might expect. Yeah. Like it is a fun activity to figure this stuff out. It is not, you know, Rutabaga Mensa style, you know, like it's, you know, it's a fun activity, but it is Rutabaga, you know. Man,
that is a reference that is for 2 people, and one of them's on the call.
One of my favorite, I think it is one of the most like applicable.
Oh yeah, Aquid
things. Like, yeah, it is. It's funny, but also wise. You know, which I like. Yeah. You have a little scanner. Like Metroid Prime, you have something called a snack scope, which allows you to identify your bugs and get your likes, dislikes, a brief description of them, sometimes a little commentary hint on how to capture them. Yeah. There. And then you're also filling out a Pokedex. So there's a whole aspect of this game that's a collect 'em all aspect that I did not really engage with.
There are 112, but many of those are variations. So there's the Strabby, which is your little strawberry bug kind of guy. Yeah, it's a mascot. Yeah, and then there's the white Strabby. Then also there's a Raspy or whatever it is, which is basically the same behavior but put on a raspberry. Different kind of stuff.
Yeah. So like you're taking these different aspects of something like, oh, it's flying and on fire. So therefore the sauce will bring it down close enough to the ground. A frozen creature will run into it, or it'll go into the water to make it not on fire. There are, one of my favorite touches here is that there are Bugsnax that are made up of other snacks. And when you hit them with their opposite element, they will explode. So like a hot fudge sundae is made up of ice cream, bananas, nuts, and chocolate. And if you set it on fire, it will eventually explode into those individual Bugsnax.
Yeah.
Like they can glom together like a, weird nest of mucus worms or whatever. I dig that. I think that's real funny and clever.
And it's unexpected when it happens, because you think, oh, I'm going to catch that guy. And then suddenly chaos.
Yep. Each area of the island that you go around has different Bugsnax in it. And their behavior and availability will be determined by the time of day and the weather. You can use any bed to advance time. This ends up feeling a little bit like a chore to me.
Yeah.
Similar to Final Fantasy 12, like going in and out of a zone to make it storming, like just going and finding a bed to make it nighttime, is not very much of a interesting challenge, I think.
No, and there's always a bed in these different areas, because you're going and finding people who have left town. They're camping out.
Yep. And then you're achieving these quests. Like I've grabbed the sputter or whatever it's called, the potato guy. This guy wants a potato guy. He eats it, and you get to choose which part of their body turns into the potato, which is a weird bodily autonomy thing to give up.
Yep.
if I were going to eat a banana and have part of my body turn into a banana, I would want that choice.
Yeah.
I need hands.
I want some
These
input.
guys don't need them. Yeah.
They really don't care. It doesn't hinder their ability to interact with stuff.
Nope.
But still, I was very hesitant to fire off on the right hand on some of these guys. It was like, you need to be able to feed yourself. Without actually taking a bite out of your hand, if that's even how it works. I
don't know. And there's to the game's credit, it's never excuses something when a character in a game asks the questions that I'm asking. Like that doesn't automatically wave something away, but there is a character who is interested in that stuff.
Yes,
in the game, who's like a scientist who's like, well, what if you ate somebody who was a Bugsnax? Would you turn into the Bugsnax they turned into, or would you turn into part of them? There's some French philosopher stuff going on in here. It's worth talking about. So we got to talk about this a little bit when we got ahead. It's worth talking about the writing in this game specifically outside of just the characters, So like you have a character who is Triffany, who is a valley girl. That's the joke. Yep. That is the joke. There's nothing else there.
Sorry. Beffica. Triffany's the archaeologist.
Thank you. Yeah. Beffica.
Triffany's the archaeologist with the Fargo accent.
Yeah. The Minnesota archaeologist. But you have Beffica, who is a valley girl. That's the end of her character. And then, and she likes gossiping, so like she has a little arc around that. The things that she says, so little of it can qualify as a joke. Yep. I really needed the dialogue to be funnier in this, and not try to get by just on the charm of these voice performances. Yeah. Because the voices put me off. Like the content of what is in the package is bad. Is vapid and does not have incident.
It feels like it's taking up space. It's to a certain degree feels a little bit like they just said improvise,
Very much so. Like improvise and take as much time as you want. Yeah. Like my least favorite one is the singer.
Oh God. The singer and the prophet. I skipped as much of that as I could.
I wanted them to die. I fucking hated them, and everything they say takes forever. And they're the only joke. They did not put a joke in the dialogue. They just decided to make them talk in a voice, do their quirk for longer. Yeah, it's maddening.
This is weird because this is the team that made Octodad the Dadliest Catch, which is a funny game.
Very funny game. Like, and you could see kind of though, so in Octodad, the humor was not from the dialogue. It was from the situation. It was just a largely silent game. Yeah. Here, the humor and the cool parts of this are also from the situation and concept. But I think that I can comfortably say that this developer, there may be people who have some real talent in terms of writing. I don't think that it's on display in either of these games. Right. It's just this game has a lot more text to it. It bummed me out. You got to hear in the notes, and this is basically correct. Like, you set yourself up for a basic kids show for 4 hours, and a real basic kid. We're not talking about like an elevated kid show, like an Adventure Time. There's not jokes for adults.
No,
in this. I don't mean jokes about cum shots and stuff like the sauce slinger pun. There's a couple weird little like bits that are surreal enough. Like at one point, somebody takes a dump and puts it in a bag and you have to go collect it. There's some weird situations that are kind of funny because they're strange, but we're not talking about like, this is for kids, but adults will like it too. Ren and Stimpy, it's not elevated. It's Wiggles,
but and again, getting to like who this is for, there are like these little video diaries you could watch, one of which has a really explicit joke about BDSM. It's a doctor working on somebody and it's like, oh, if you don't hold still, I might need to restrain you. Not while the camera's on.
Yeah, it's they fuck. the Grumpuses like certainly fuck, and they have relationships that are long and lived in and secret loves. And this game is a huge representation win. But they don't say anything entertaining. Yeah. Like it is so confusing. Like the first time there was a double entendre sex joke in this, I blinked. Like I was just like, it wasn't funny. It's not like it's a knee slapper. Yeah. Like what you said, I have to restrain you not while the camera's on. That's not a good joke. It's just not a joke they'd make on the Wiggles.
Right.
The register of writing is always low. It just shifts randomly to whore and horny away from kids at seemingly random times.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a representation win, which makes it a little difficult to talk about this. I'm not taking shots at any of these characters or what anybody felt about them, but like when we say like there are no jokes, like there are these characters, they have beats that happen, especially around each other, that are heartwarming and nice, and I'd rather they exist than not exist. But it's like everybody just does their character as opposed to like using dialogue as an opportunity for jokes or to complicate things or to set up expectations and then subvert them, right?
To do fictions, to do drama and do fiction, like the thing that writing does. Everyone has their character, everyone has their problem, then they have their lesson, and that's it. It's all extremely, and it's not like you have to outsmart stuff. Like something doesn't need to have twists and turns to be worthwhile. It's that the journey isn't fun. It's just not very entertaining along the way. Whenever I run into one of these representation things that is like very good for representation, I want better for my LGBTQ plus, non-binary siblings. Like I want people to have representation, but also have it be in something that is the mark of high quality. Yeah. There's so many times on the Slack, somebody will talk about a game and they'll say like, oh, I'll put up with a lot of like boring shit for gay. And I'm like, why do you have to? That fucking sucks.
You really shouldn't have to.
Like that is a huge failure on the industry's part, that you have to be like, oh, I will deal with this thing kind of sucking because it has representation.
Yeah. Which, I want to make absolutely double and triple and quadruple sure that people understand. It's not like I'm saying I would rather them not do it at all than do it and have it not be. I'm not trying to say don't do it if you can't do it right. It's still good that they did it. I just don't think that this team had it in them or wanted to create the good version of whatever this could be.
Yeah. It's the representation has value on its own. Yes. Would not take it away. Not saying these like characters should be straight. Like that's not an effect. And the part of the reason why I think this is good representation in a weird, ironic way, the way that the characters' identities in this are not like they're just folk. Yeah. It's not treated as a reveal. It's not treated as a plot point. I think that's why it gets all the representation kind of kudos it gets. Yeah. And that's good, but at the same time, it's like none of it stands out from the mean. It's this weird, like letting, LGBTQ plus folk also be mediocre Muppets. Yeah. Is kind of a win. in a weird way, but I don't want it to be. I want, I want interesting characters who are these things, or depth. Like they don't have to be tragic. They don't have to be, doesn't have to be about them having these identities, but they should at least be something more than just like a one note Muppet.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone called you a one note Muppet in a bar. Like, it's a really mean thing to say, but this is a game full of one note Muppets.
It is, you know? And another thing that feels like it's worth saying, or at least articulating in this way, when we say everybody does their character, what we're talking about is like, oh, their character is the conspiracy theorist person. Nobody's character primary trait that is put forward on the level of, oh, I talk in a Minnesota accent, don't you know? It is not like, oh, this is the non-binary one.
No. Yeah, that's why it's totally separate from that.
Yes,
everybody has no secondary characteristics. Their primary characteristic is never an identity-based characteristic. It's either an accent or a high school stereotype.
Yeah,
like they're a jock or a nerd or an artist or a Minnesotan.
I remember the Minnesotan in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, like each of us is a princess, a jock, a Minnesotan, a nerd, a rebel, and a freak. It's the game has a look to it. It is kind of this low fidelity cartoon, like big flat shapes. Your character, something I really like in it is that your arms appear, like your body exists.
Yeah.
I think really works for the goofy kind of like a bunch of stuffed animals having a party feeling to this. It's generally like an attractive game. The Bugsnax themselves are triumphs. I love so many of them. They're my children.
I want just little vinyl figurines of them. They don't have to be articulated. I just want a little Strabby to put on my desk next to my Germ Warfare from Night in the Woods and my Gengar. Right? You
can get a little stuffed Strabby, but not a. And then also the burger one.
The burger's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's great. But they I would like all of them basically.
Please.
And the music is great. I didn't know what to expect from the music. I just knew the meme song. The rest of the music in the game is also very good.
Yeah, so, it's got bops. Yeah,
really catchy.
So like we said, this developer, Young Horses, they put out Octodad, The Deadliest Catch in 2014. That's a fun game. Also a snack. I like that would be a fun one to go back to.
Absolutely. And the humor from that comes from, that was a very early, fun physics, not hate fuck physics. Like the humor in that is similar to QWOP, but it's not meant to annoy you.
Yeah.
It's like a low stakes QWOP.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's made to, just like have fun knocking stuff over.
Yeah, I like that game quite a bit. Bugsnax took a long time to make for several different reasons. One being that they wanted to avoid burnout, which is very admirable. Like Octodad was a early-ish indie hit, so they could do that. It also went through a lot of different permutations.
Yes,
part of the reason why it took a while.
Yeah, it took a bit for them to figure out what this was supposed to be. The creative director Kevin Zun got the idea for this just by doodling. He doodled a waffle pillar, just a little caterpillar made out of waffles, and said, "I think we got something here." Yeah,
and they built the whole game like that was the constant. So a lot of different things changed, but there are always going to be Bugsnax combinations, and that feels like something that came perfectly formed from the head of Zeus.
Yes,
like Bugsnax as a phrase is very consonant. If you say it, it sounds like a thing that would already exist.
Yep.
It is perfect. It is a weirdly platonic, like it's a circle. It has no edges.
Yeah. And just so many different kinds of bugs, so many different kinds of food, instantly recognizable, like what they're supposed to be. Like you could just look at one and take a guess at what its name would be, or you could hear the name and guess what it would look like. Just really intuitive design across these as like a concept, which makes it I don't know. I kind of admire that they took this and made a one-off game as opposed to trying to shop this around and make it into a multimedia specifically for kids thing.
Yeah.
Because there's more potential than what they delivered on here.
Agreed. I am impressed that they are not committed to making all the names puns.
Yes.
If it were me or any of my jackass friends who are show-offs like myself, and we're like, oh, Bugsnax, it would just be this competition to come up with the best portmanteaus
Oh yeah.
and puns. And it would be intolerable. And we do it about once a month on Twitter. Like, you know, I'm guilty of it. All of my friends are.
Oh yeah.
At some point they just stop it in this. Like Frider is a fry spider. You know, Strawby isn't anything. There's not a bug called like a Rarby or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a little strawberry bug crawls around. Like they just kind of give up on that. And I really admire that.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't need to be clever. It's cute, you know, which is kind of a you know, the tragic flaw of like a lot of the rest of the game. But in terms of the Bugsnax, I think that they landed it.
Yeah. So the first version of this that they came up with was kind of like Pokemon Snap. You were in a food truck and it was on rails, and you would spend your missions, you know, your little trips out there, trapping the little Bugsnax, then preparing them and then serving them. And apparently it got like kind of grisly, you know, just like,
you had to skin them and stuff. Like you had to actually prep a living animal.
You had to field dress a bunger.
Yeah. Field dress a Substack or whatever it's called. It's not called Substack, but I always think it's going to be called Substack. That's different. That's where right-wing weirdos yell at me.
Yeah.
Or try to get me to.
Of course.
Yeah, they're going to do that. There's another version that was a city sim. You fed the different citizens, the Grumpuses, Bugsnax, which would alter their personality. So they would do different things for you. So it sounds kind of like a weird, like almost Lemmings thing. Like you eat a construction burger and it makes you want to build things.
Yeah. Like Lemmings meets Pac-Man 2 kind of deal.
Yeah. Which is interesting. All these different prototypes sound interesting to me. They eventually ended up doing an Ape Escape like, which is weird because we only have like, that's a very rare genre of game.
Confined
there aren't very many
to
Ape Escapes.
just the two of them and those weird little mini games from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah. There are not very many Ape Escapes, but they decided to go over on the Ape Escape model here.
The original story was going to be much darker than what we ultimately get, which has, you know, its own darkness and, you know, fucked upness to it to a degree. The Bugsnax were going to turn people into zombies if they overindulged in them. And the inciting incident, the reason why the explorer was gone is that her girlfriend would have died as a result of her actions and experiments and stuff. So she would have hidden herself away in shame. And they didn't do that because they figured, oh yeah, that is just straight up doing a barrier gaze trope. So let's not.
Yeah, they specifically, you know, had the queer characters live.
Yes.
There is a weird little leftover kind of touchstone or swerve towards that. You can find a tent with a skeleton in the explorers area that I thought was the girlfriend for a time, and then turned out not to be in the twist there. So the game was announced shortly before its release as part of the PlayStation 5 launch. And this kind of got viral and memey and captured attention because of its theme song. Yeah. It's Bugsnax, which is by Kiro Bonito. It is very catchy. It is in the, you know, Plants vs. Zombies kind of mold of like a light techno pop song, electro pop song.
Yeah.
About the game.
Nice throwback because it's easy to forget that Plants vs. Zombies and Portal, you know, the original Portal, that was over, 15 years ago. So
yeah. It's it is very much in that mold.
For the representation, Bugsnax was nominated for GLAAD Awards, which makes sense to me. This that is a big portion of the fandom. A big reason why this drew a lot of fans.
Yeah. And again, would never take that away from anybody. Like, I did not like the individual dialogue writing of this. I got no problem with Floofty being non-binary.
Yep.
That is all good to me. The game sold well. So they took the long road on this because Octodad was a success. This outsold Octodad in 2 months, which means that whatever their next thing is, they're going to be able to take their time. I want that for creators. That's good. A free update was released in 2022. They added a new area with these big Bugsnax and the ability to fast travel and this very underbaked home building mechanic.
Yeah.
That is, the idea is to kind of give you rewards for doing side quests, because the quest structure of this game is real weird. For half the characters doing the side quests, you just do them because you want to, and to get these little barely customizable house building things. And the other ones, you do them because they lead to the bosses in the game, which otherwise you would not fight.
Yes. I feel pretty bad. I didn't fight bosses in this.
I didn't either. I watched them on YouTube. I feel a little bit like I didn't do my due diligence. They're not that interesting in terms of mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to do a boss fight in this engine, but because the engine is so simple, they basically boil down to like, this boss is going to charge you, get out of the way, and then while it's stunned, coat it with this sauce.
Yes.
Or this boss is going to end up under this, stalactite, which you need to send a Bugsnax into to make it fall. It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They all use the traps in interesting ways. Like there's one for each basic like type of tool and trap that you use to kind of emphasize it. So it's what I would do if you were going to design boss fights for this game.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I really missed out on that much. And I two of the characters that you have to deal with to get these are two of the least pleasant characters. I would have had to hang out with the singer and the salesman. Yeah. And I just hadn't, I couldn't. They were like, hey, do this thing for me. And I was like, you know what? Go to hell. I hate you and I hate talking to you, and nobody should I shouldn't have brought you back to the village. If you are supposed to work together, that is a bad message. You should be shunned. All of you belong on this island.
None of you are free from sin.
You're all pretty horrible. Like, you're all really and deeply annoying people.
Oh my God.
It's like Seinfeld Island. Like Bugsnax 2 Seinfeld Island.
What's the deal? What's the deal with the hole in this boat?
Yeah, just like, so you turn like George's feet is turning to fries. That kind of shit.
Oh my God. So like when I was playing this, I nothing led me to any of that other stuff, and it didn't pop up in a guide that I looked at to see if I did stuff. So that's weird. I also played this after the fast travel. I never figured out how to fast travel. So yeah.
So I could fast travel. There's a weird thing. This update also adds a twist with the ending where you can go into this secret area that's behind the scientist ship, hollowed out ship.
Okay.
I don't know what I didn't do, because I went and jumped behind that after reading about it, and it said that area is not ready for you yet.
Weird.
Which was the message it gave before you had the update, but I did have fast travel. So I don't know if I didn't install the update, like they backported in the fast travel into the base game.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff was part of a DLC.
I have no idea. So like I had this because it was a PlayStation Plus giveaway when it launched, or so like it says it's a free update. I had the home building stuff, but none of this other stuff came through for me.
Yeah. I had the home building as well. I just didn't have, so I think my guess is some of the stuff was backported into the base version, and there's also kind of a DLC.
Gotcha.
That was free. And we are covering the base game.
Yeah.
For this. Not that the DLC would have been, I did not know that I did not have the DLC until the end, basically. And I tried to go into that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what they're doing next.
Nope.
What's next for this developer? The ending of this game leaves it open for a sequel. If you want them, the Bugsnax entering the wider world of the Grumpuses, that seems to be on the menu.
Yeah.
For somebody, I don't know if they're actually going to do anything with that, or if that's just the Twilight Zone-esque ending.
Yeah.
Here.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah. I'm not particularly jazzed for a sequel. Like I do generally like this. I know we talked a lot of shit about the writing and stuff. Like, I love these little critters. I think that if they did a new one, they did the gold and silver, version of this, and added 100 new critters, my joy in that could just be found through looking at a gallery with maybe a little button where I could press the button and they go Stoodler. And I'd be like, yeah, Stoodler. Look at this weird little guy.
Look at this guy. Yeah.
Look at this little goblin shit. Like, just that is all I would get out of it. I don't need to trap anymore, and I definitely don't need to meet more Grumpuses.
Any update or follow up to this would need to increase the complexity and address the kind of the shallowness of some of the writing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, grow up, Bugsnax.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like an asshole saying that because, it's for kids. But is it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think you're an asshole for that. It's also, I think that, there are other shows to do this, but in a post-Adventure Time world, we can reasonably expect a little bit more sophistication and humor and deftness in the writing in our children's media.
Yes.
Like everyone, all this stuff is going on with HBO Max now, where they're racing all these animated programs. I have to imagine those are more sophisticated than Wiggles, or all of the adults on my Twitter timeline wouldn't be losing their minds.
Yes.
These have to be shows that actually have jokes and incident. in them. I think that elevated children's entertainment has become the norm, and something that is like Barney level, like a funny voice and a little dance, is in the dust. The difference between kids entertainment and like toddler entertainment, and this spends a lot of time in the toddle zone. Toddler baby, teenager
Oh man.
Veteran.
Elder.
Wife. Like, make human snacks. Give us the license for this. Like, we'll just veteran.
Do you want to get started?
Yeah, we could get into it. I don't know. I could do this for another hour.
I'm afraid we could. I don't know that
other stuff I got to do today, but like, I don't know. It's pretty fun. Podcaster. Anywho, how fun would it be if they did do a sequel to this? And we basically, by trashing the writing, we ensure this would never happen. But it would be a dream to do with the voice if they did a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Like, how fun would it be just to be brought on, just to be like, Shake Sack, or something like that. Like, that would be so fun.
Agreed.
Let's get into it.
Let's do. So we get our prologue here. We arrive on the island on what is it? Snaktooth Island is what it's called.
Yep.
And our airship is kind of blown off course by this gigantic pizza mothza.
Yeah. Very nice little intro to this.
Mm-hmm.
We crash land. We get this basic movement tutorial trying to run through the environment as a storm is coming in. Eventually, we fall down and black out. And we get this little flashback to what brought us here, this film strip of Lisbert making an expeditionary tape, and she's interrupted by her girlfriend, Egabelle.
Yeah.
There.
Lisbert is like an Australian safarier kind of person.
Yeah. Is one of, we don't spend very much time with Lisbert outside of flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
She is not defined by her trait as much.
Right.
As everyone else. Her girlfriend, we don't find this out for a little bit, is a doctor. And when she comes into the plot, boy, does she just like, maybe I should check your vitals, unprompted.
Yeah.
Like, she just, says things that if you pulled the back of a Malibu Stacy, that was a doctor, they would say.
Yeah.
Lisbert and her team came there to start a new settlement to find and study these Bugsnax. And she sent the tape to you because you're a journalist and they want their work to be documented.
Right. And we cut to our character sitting in our editor's office with across the desk from C. Clumby Clumbernut, J. Jonah Jameson kind of person, who is angry that we're going off in this monster hunt. He doesn't trust Lisbert, and apparently our journalist, most of our past work has been around like cryptids and stuff.
Yes. In that secret ending thing that you have to go, that I read about but did not do because it wouldn't let me there because of the DLC, this person's in on a grand conspiracy. There's like a secret society that has known about these things for a long time.
Yeah.
In a very Metal Gear-esque like post-credits thing.
So I got that. I don't know if it's because I saved everybody in the ending.
Okay.
That is possible. But yeah, I got the, Revolver Ocelot talking to this person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I got that as well. Because I like how saving everyone is not dependent on doing all the side quests.
Yes.
We'll talk about that at the end, but you get to meet the person they're talking to.
Oh, okay.
And the society they're talking to. Like you go into like a crystal chamber behind the ship.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. Again, I didn't do this. It wasn't available for me. It literally said that area is not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this person's actually important that they're sending there. They send you on the assignment. and you have to go get an interview and come back alive. And then you'll be able to, as long as you do that, you'll still have a job when you get back.
Mm-hmm.
So we wake up in the present on the island at Flavor Falls, and we stumble upon our kind of point of view guide character here, Thilbo, the island's mayor. Thilbo does not have a personality trait except that everyone hates him. I don't know why everyone hates Thilbo. He's firmly in the tolerable section for me.
Yeah,
of these things. Like, I don't love Thilbo, but he doesn't annoy me actively.
He's just a good-natured doormat.
He is a good-natured doormat who everyone hates for some reason.
Right.
He's on the ground and he's weak. He hasn't gotten enough food, so we have to catch some Bugsnax, and we get our tutorial here on the basic trap that you get. This is a little field you can put down and if a Bugsnax walks into it, you can trigger it and trap certain small ones.
Yeah. And so this is introducing, we've got two different we have two different varieties. We have the Strabby and we have the Roodle. Strabby is just a walking strawberry, and Roodle's this carrot snake that'll burrow when it gets scared. Oftentimes, so when you scan them, you can see like the little route that they're going to walk, kind of like scanning a robot in Horizon Zero Dawn. Weirdly.
Very similar.
Yeah. And there are hiding spots around where they are. So the Strabby will like run into a bush. Oftentimes small ones will hide in these bushes, and you have to go away and wait for them to, get the all clear before they come back out. And the Roodles, if you get too close to them, they'll just burrow into the ground.
Yeah. They all come back. All it takes to get this to stop is to go like a little bit far away.
The stakes are super low for messing up.
Yeah, you can't, even some of them, they'll say they'll go underground forever. You can just respawn them.
Yeah.
There's really no consequence. You get these things and you feed them to Philbo. His body parts are replaced by strawberries and carrots. And he doesn't react to this. He just looks at it for a second. He's like, oh, this is great. I'm not hungry anymore. Starts leading you to a town and says, listen, you mentioned that you're there for Lisbert. And he says, Lisbert might not be there.
Right. To get back to town, we have to go through this place called Garden Grove, which is currently occupied by a couple of people. We meet the first one here, this gardener / farmer guy who's pretty gruff. His name is Wombus. Again, I am not making fun of this. I am not just saying like, oh, just name this monster who's over there. Dad, just Wombus.
I don't know,
that Wombus over there. Yeah.
Wombus is my favorite of the Grumples. He's not like, again, he's just gruff. That's his only personality trait. But his wife left and he created a cactus wife, like Homer did. Which is a genuine, like one of a couple, like he is responsible for the 2 genuine laughs I got in this game.
Yeah.
Which are that, and then him sending me to go collect somebody's shit, and then bagging it for me. Two genuine laughs the whole game. They are all at the foot of Wombus.
Yes.
And his voice is a stock cartoon voice, but it's not an annoying one to me.
Yeah.
He kind of talks like this. Like,
He gets good deliveries. Like he's got a line like, I'm going to do violence to you. Or he just straight up tells Philbo, we're not friends.
Yeah, we're not friends. Like it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I like Wombus, and it gave me high hopes because at this point it's Philbert and Wombus. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
He is overworking himself growing ketchup. They can grow plants, but not Bugsnax. And that's is a plot point. They can grow sauces though, and that is what they're subsisting on. So he's growing ketchup. So since Lisbert was the hunter and who could find Bugsnax more easily.
Yeah. And these are just bushes with flowers that have little sauce bottles in them.
Yeah. So this is where we run to a bunger. This is the bowl hamburger. Bugsnax loves ketchup. The other one you can get a plush of. I might get a plush bunger.
No.
Who bops Philbo out of the way. Like these ones are aggressive. And Wombus gives us the sauce slinger repeatedly to completion.
Yeah.
He gives us his sauce slinger so we can bait a ketchup trap to get bait a trap with ketchup to get the bunger.
Yes.
The bungers are slightly tougher. There are certain Bugsnax that you can't just trap; they'll knock over the trap. So stun them either by making them run into something or run into each other.
Yeah, it's fine. I love the bungers because they have little curly frat legs.
Yeah, it's really cute. Like they're all just so baby.
Yeah.
They're Jellicle.
I want to take care.
Bugsnax.
I want to take care of them. Yeah. So Wombus wants to go to town, but there are too many aggressive Bugsnax in the way. So we've got to catch all of them. Basically, when we meet a new NPC, we're going to have like 3 quests, like 3 rounds of you need to go catch X for reason Y. You need to go catch Z for reason A. Stuff like that. So
got bad news about W. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So again, we're just kind of sticking in this area. He wants us to catch a Frider and a Shishka bug.
Yes. We use ketchup to catch the Frider. This is a spider made of fries, and it's on cave ceilings. It will come down for ketchup. Mm-hmm. And then the shishka bug, which is this ant made of a shish kebab of vegetables, will hide in this bush, but you can throw ketchup to scare it into a trap. Mm-hmm. So it wants to avoid ketchup, so you can make it go away from it into a trap.
Yeah, you can kind of corral it straight in there. And the final task here, we got to catch the bunger. And this has us luring them to run into each other.
Yep. And then they get stunned. And when something is stunned, you don't have to put it in a trap. Mm-hmm. You can just net it.
There's a little time limit when something is capturable. It's pretty generous. It's like a 10 count or a 15 count.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of depends. Sometimes it can be a little tricky when you're doing like order of operations things.
Yeah.
And it will sometimes overlap with other time limits. So if somebody is on like this bug snack is going to explode into other bug snacks timer and on a stun timer, it can get a little hairy, but there's no consequence for anything. Like you just try again.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing. After you do this, Wamba says, you're a good hunter. He knocks over a tree to make a path towards the village. How to get here, I don't know. You follow Filbo, and on your way, you run into Beffica.
Yeah.
Beffica is a valley girl. She's bullying him. And she teaches you how to use her journal. She likes gossiping with people. Weirdly, I didn't find Beffica as annoying as I could. But it's just because there was the singer and the hippie and the jock still on their way. Like there are way worse ones.
So say what you will about Beffica, she talks fast and her lines get out of the way.
That's exactly it. Like Beffica doesn't take up that much space. So
I love this because you get this journal, and part of the mystery here is after you get get one of these wumpuses, or what are they? What are they called?
Grumpuses?
Yeah, grumpuses. After you get the grumpuses, Wombus is a grumpus. Yes. After you win them over, you do a little
what
interview.
A weird life we have. I don't understand this job at all.
God, between this and Elden Ring,
all these things. Like the loathsome grumpus.
But this is like your pause menu, your little information, and you can do interviews with these grumpuses. And instead of like writing everything down, there's a little tape recorder just taped into the journal itself. That's very cute. Yeah.
Yeah, and the interviews, there's no gameplay to this. You just go down the list of questions. This is a real great example of a box that is labeled dialogue that could have had something good in it that didn't. Like you're constantly asking, like, why did you, like everyone has a set of questions. So it'd be like, why did you come to, Snaktooth Island?
Yeah.
And they're just like, I wanted to see the Bugsnax. Like it's so bland. Like they don't reveal anything. You're basically clicking through all these to get to the end where they give you a Lisbert clue.
Yeah. Now, where is the king? He's in the castle.
Yeah. But where is the castle? Well, that's where the king lives. It's really perfunctory.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of jamming through to get to the end. You get to Snacksburg, which is largely deserted. With Lisbert gone, nobody wanted to hang around. She was the linchpin of the community.
Yeah.
You follow Filbo to the campfire at the center of town and you interview him. And he says that the reason why he's mayor is because Lisbert would leave him in charge when she went out hunting. So he's kind of the deputy.
Yeah.
She didn't come back. Everyone got in a big fight. Then there was an earthquake and everybody went their separate ways.
Yeah. Filbo says, hey, maybe we can bring people back. He says by building up the town. But in reality, it's just you got to go catch them some Bugsnax and then we'll come back. And he gives you a couple of leads. You can't go everywhere at the outset. There are 3 kind of spokes off of this that you haven't gone to. One of them is entirely blocked off to you. And then there are like deeper areas that are locked off. So, at any given point, you can get like 2 or 3 people in, and then you have to get them in to unlock the next little bit.
Yeah. There's a little chapter end, like party scene at the end of each of these, and that opens up a new area.
Yes.
It always asks if you're sure you want to do this. I do not know if there are points of no return in this.
I don't know.
It seems very friendly in terms of how it treats completionism and collectoralism in it. Like, for example, to get the achievement that you collected everybody, you don't collect everybody. There's in the DLC, there's like one very difficult to catch bug that doesn't count for completion.
Oh, that's nice.
So it feels like it's pretty player forward in that respect, but it's still giving you the chance, like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? It does give you also a point of no return at the very end. That is like the real deal. But even every time you're going to advance the chapter, it asks if you want to. So if we go to we can go to these things. We could also check in with Beffica and see what side quests she wants us to do. If we go to the Springs area, down to the south, we can talk to Floofty, who is very condescending.
Yes. And is more just talking to you, and they give you this kind of explanation about the snackification process and how they've managed to control it using this thing called the Snaktoovator. So remember when we fed Filbo the strawberry, his leg was replaced by a strawberry. With this, after Floofty gives it to you, this is where you can pick, okay, left hand, right hand, right foot, left foot. And this is, less for puzzle kind of stuff. And it's more for like, I'm going to design a fun little food monster out of these grumpuses.
And ease of use stuff. So what this also does is activate the genetic memory of the grumpuses. Where you can, if a grumpus has eaten a strawbee at any point in the past, you can turn their limbs into strawbees.
Yes.
You can access the strawbee DNA. So like if a character's little questlet is turn both of my arms into riblets, and then you can give them one riblet. Once you have the Snaktoovator, you don't have to give them two. You don't have to catch two riblets.
Right.
They might still say catch three riblets as part of the quest, but this allows you to bypass some of that stuff. So not only you get to design these horrible little monsters, but you also get to ease of use. Them. If you go back and talk to Beffica, she wants you to scan a total of 6 Bugsnax in Garden Grove. To do this, you have to find some variants where you find the white strawbee, and the weenie worm, which is a hot dog worm that is attracted to ketchup sexually.
I love the way the weenie worm gets around. There's just something about a hot dog animal that gets me.
It's real cute, and they're very shy.
And then she also wants us to figure out what her favorite bug snack is. Beffica does. This is super easy. All you have to do is go into her little cave where she's living, her little exile cave, and see that there is it's a bunger drawn on the wall.
I thought it was a frider.
Maybe a frider.
It's one of the basic ones. You give that to her. Then she wants you to kind of gossip things. So she wants you to dig up dirt on people. And this is where a weird time. She's like, find out where Wambus goes at midnight. And I was like, oh, is this good? Like this was one of the ways the game fainted towards more complicated mechanics. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, these characters are all going to have schedules and I'm going to have to somehow internalize or play with the time. Yeah. Like, oh, this character will be here at midnight, which means they won't be guarding, the bunger shack or whatever. No, you just fast forward the time to the thing and go to the place it tells you. Yeah. Here is where you find out that Wambus created a cactus wife because he misses his real wife. This was really interesting to me because cactus is a food. Like people eat cactus. Yeah. I was like, why isn't this isn't a bug snack? Why is this one just a plant?
It's weird. But
it'd be like if there was just a banana.
There are plants on the island that are not snacks. So
they're not food plants.
Yeah.
Like a cactus is food. So like there isn't just like corn on the island that isn't snacks. But I'm like, why aren't they eating this cactus if they're all starving? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the devs did not realize people eat cactuses. Go to better Mexican restaurants. But yeah, he's got a cactus wife, which made me laugh. Yes. Very similar to Homer's, like she's superior to your real mother in every way kind of thing.
Hello, homie. I don't need her at all anymore.
Homer's increasing quest to get rid of Marge and replace her with a simulacrum is very funny to me. Until eventually, in like season 27, Artie Ziff made Marge robots. Like they eventually took that idea to its horrible conclusion. No. Yeah, there are Marge bots about.
I really didn't need to know that.
Yeah, well, now you know about the Marge bots.
That was not information that was germane.
Yeah, well. Too bad.
Oh man. So there are a couple of other people we were going after. They're going to take us to different zones. Specifically here, we're headed to Simmering Springs to find Gramble.
To find this pair of fucking chuckle assholes. Like, I hate Gramble. I hate Wiggle.
Gramble's more tolerable than Wiggle because Gramble's delivery reminds me of Kenneth from 30 Rock.
Yeah, kind of. He's just a bumpkin.
Yeah.
That's Gramble's thing. Nobody's less tolerable than Wiggle.
Oh yeah, no.
Like Wiggle's got to go. If you knew somebody like Wiggle, and Wiggle might be a fine singer. Like I'm not here to judge the quality of Wiggle's voice. I'm here to judge the quality of somebody who just sings every other line.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not you can sing has very little bearing. I would not call you
should.
Yeah, there's a should. Having the ability to do something, I think, brings in a certain amount of responsibility for discretion of when you do it.
Yes.
Like, oh, he's really good at doing slam dunks. But like, I wouldn't want him, say, slam dunking somebody's food onto the plate at a wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very great power, great responsibility. It's incredibly Friderman to this stuff. Like she constantly sings, and she sings in a big soul voice, which again is fine in a music context. But it just slows down the pacing of all of these lines to an absolute fucking molasses crawl.
Yeah.
Kills me. So we go and we find Wiggle serenading Gramble with her guitar here, and she's hitting on him, but she wants to do this to get his snacks. He is the collaborator. He likes the Bugsnax and wants to keep them as pets. Yes. And she sings and she's hungry. So we got that going.
That's pretty much it. Like it has been entrusted to Gramble to keep them as livestock, but he has stopped them from eating them, so they no longer serve the purpose.
Yeah, not really what livestock means.
Yes,
he thinks you can reform the Bugsnax, and he has reformed one. He gives you something called the Buggy Ball. This, I wish you controlled it from over its shoulder.
Yes.
This is kind of irritating to me. It's a strawbee that is inside a little hamster ball, and you make him roll around. This basically gives you a movable dip surface. Like the way that you use this in puzzles is you coat him in ketchup, and then you can move ketchup around to like lure ketchup motivated animals.
Yeah. It's a dipping area.
Yeah. A mobile dipping area. Metal Gear. But the way you do it is by using the controller to click on different waypoints you want him to go to.
Yeah.
I really wish you controlled him like a little Nikita missile.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah.
And like there's a certain complication because sometimes what you are trying to either attract or chase around might be scared of you. So figuring out where you are standing so you can both guide to this but not scare away whatever it's chasing away feels kind of jankety a little bit.
Yeah. The way this is introduced when you get this is by going through a little obstacle course.
No.
That he gives you, and if this were in first person, it would be kind of fun. The fact that you're just clicking on, it's like completing a maze where you only have to hit 4 points on the maze, and the pencil point just auto completes it.
Yeah.
Like it's very weak sauce.
Yeah. But this tool also, in addition to being a mobile dipping area, will push Bugsnax out of small spaces. So there are like little tunnels, and there are little like hollowed out logs that you can run this through to kind of chase something out.
Yep. We go and talk to Wiggle, the singer, who's on the beats. She wants a new look. So she wants to turn her hair into a pineantula, which is a pineapple tarantula here. And we have to get a crapple, which is a crab apple, in order to dig it up, and to put a grape skeeto tail on her horn. There every once in a while it'll give you access to something other than an arm and a leg, and they'll let you do stuff on their nose or their head. This
makes sense. We're basically like doing her hair by doing all of this. The next thing that she wants is some pop ticks, these little popcorn guys that are over in Scorched Gorge. That's kind of the canyon desert area. We'll talk about more later. But this is kind of fun. These little pop ticks, they're too small to catch because they're little popcorn kernels. There are jalapeno scorpions that throw fire. So you need to get the scorpions mad enough to shoot the fire at the pop ticks to get them to pop. And then you can catch them.
And you have to get the pop ticks far enough away from the scorpion because the scorpion will get mad at your trap.
Yes.
And set it on fire. So there's different things you can do. Again, it's this very simple geo system where like if your trap is in a river, it will never be on fire because as soon as it's on fire, it gets on water. Water puts it out. So you have to, that's kind of the gameplay here with this.
Yeah.
After you do this, she realizes that by changing her look and changing her head, this did not give her any new ideas for songs. The Bugsnax had just made her hideous. So she goes back to town to be a Merrick type character, and be displayed from town to town for a nickel a gander.
I'm a monster. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Don't sing every other thing you say. It's really obnoxious.
So after you get this Rogues Galaxy, after you get this Rogue Galaxy,
don't play a Rogue Galaxy for PS2 and throw it in the fucking trash.
As years go by, that grudge that you have against that particular game,
it's a really bad game.
I know it is, but it's just really funny because it's just kind of like you're still mad about it.
Well, I just want to I don't want to just pick on like a really like in my heart of hearts, I would just be saying Xenosaga.
Oh yeah,
like Xenosaga is a really boring space PS2 RPG series, but I don't want to do that because I have friends who like those games, and I don't want to like pick on them. And nobody loves Rogues Galaxy, so it feels like and somebody does. Somebody will at me about it, but it just feels like a safer target for what's wrong with PS2 era JRPGs.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Yeah. But after we get these folks back, Philbo kind of fires the cannon indoors on a party. Like four people does not a party make, especially four people who hate each other.
Yep. None of these people like each other. And the thing that the game never really wrestles with is they shouldn't.
Yes.
After you do this, Philbo says like, hey, try a bug snack, makes you have it. And this makes you sick. You're allergic, which if they did do a sequel will have ramifications. Like you are the one immune person. In the world, it seems like.
Yeah, you're the Sherry Birkin. Huh.
Like you were literally the only, healthy carrier.
Huh.
So this opens up Scorched Gorge. Areas just kind of open up. Sometimes there's a good reason behind it. Sometimes there isn't really. This one, somebody fixes the bridge or fixes the gate or something. I don't remember.
You can always go to Scorched Gorge.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of, I don't know if the people that you were supposed to get back cannot be brought back before this. Something makes this advance. Yeah.
So you can go to Scorched Gorge now. This is where you can find Triffany. Triffany is from Minnesota. And she is an archaeologist. She wants to, continue to study. She's studying the ancient Bugsnax worshippers and stuff. And she needs you to get 3 ribblepedes from these ruins. They're shy. And she needs to confirm this discovery.
Yes. Love ribblepedes. At first I didn't notice them because they really did kind of blend in with the walls. But they are centipedes made out of ribs. They specifically hang out on the walls of these ruins, and they're drawn to hot sauce. So not really a puzzle. It's just there's a new sauce in this area.
Yeah. When she eats them, this is where she says they only look like they have bones, and they kind of sluice down your throat. Like once they get into your mouth, they turn to liquid. Which is again that creepy detail that actually keeps me coming, and is also kind of foreshadowing.
Yep.
In a weird way.
Yeah, for the final confrontation. Yeah.
She just doesn't question it. She's like, "Oh, it just looks like they have bones and it turned into liquid in my mouth. More, please." And I know why they don't question it. It's because they're addictive.
Yeah.
They're habit forming. She wants you to open up some ruins, which you do by there's these baked potato things, these spudlers or whatever they're called. These things are great. I love them. You get them to charge into walls. You get them angry at you. You get out of the way.
There's the spudler, and then later there's the fully loaded spudler.
Fully loaded spudler. That's very funny. Like there are funny bits of this fucking game. Like they just didn't make the characters say any of them.
I know, right?
Like, God, I love fully loaded spudler. It's not spudler either. It's. I'm just saying that because of Stoodler. It's something like Spudded or something. It's something different than that. Just before somebody yells at me. I don't have these little monsters memorized. I just love them.
Scorched Gorge is kind of difficult to get around because of the spudlers, and then also the jalapeno scorpions. Yeah. Spudlers will hit you and they will like knock you up in the air. And then being caught on fire is a real problem because you just run and you stay on fire forever, or at least until you run into water.
Yeah, it's a very very Wario.
Yeah,
you can't be hurt in this game. You just run until you get to water, and luckily there's a little stream here.
Yeah,
but there's also 2 levels to this, which makes it a little bit annoying. If you get set on fire, you're likely to fall, have to climb back up.
Yeah,
and when you get eventually you get to that top level, and there are consequences there as well. Before we do that, when we break into these ancient ruins, we see a mural with this pizza moth and these ancient grumpuses. So there are other grumpuses who lived here at one point. This was the secret that the secret society is hiding in the secret ending. Her last request is to open up the secret storeroom, which she suspects is a burial chamber. And we get inside, and the pit is empty.
Yeah. It's raising some questions, which is, why are the burial places empty, but the places outside where you find skeletons, you're only finding partial skeletons?
Yes. So after you've done all these favors, you've filled up her meter enough to where she will go back to town. Rompus is her husband. She is the one they made the cactus golem from. And very similar to all of the characters in this, which to me, it doesn't change the representation angle, but it just is frustrating to me. There's no reason for these characters to like each other or be together.
Right.
Like, what do they like about each other? Eggabell and Lisbert? That is a better relationship. Yeah. Well, I think that one's a little bit better because they talk about, like that is weirdly the relationship that gets the most development.
Yeah.
The characters are just in love because of course they, know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know what there is to like about, Triffany.
Yeah. Seems nice enough, but yeah.
Fine. Like Minnesota, like our Minnesota archaeologists, like there's no content there. It's just weird.
Nothing to grab onto. Yeah.
One of my least favorite is up top. This is Crombo, the businessman. Wants to sell you a bridge. You cannot afford this. So instead he gives you a launch pad. This launch pad. That is the joke or the tool, the new tool for here. And wants you to get 3 cheepoofs for it. Catch these cheepoofs.
Yeah.
Cheepoofs are flying cheese puffs. Butterflies, and you have to throw your trap at them or throw a rock at them so they land in a trap.
Yes.
There's a little bit of expressive gameplay here where there are multiple ways to do it.
Yeah, throwing the trap at them is pretty fun because you have to switch away from the launch pad to your trap in order to activate it while it's still in the air. So a little bit of a tricky timing to it.
Yeah, you do the same thing either way because if you hit them with a rock, you have to switch to the trap to close it while they're low enough altitude to be in the trap.
Yeah.
Very similar. Then he wants you to catch a sweet frighter. And this one is tricky because there are these windmills about and the wind will blow your trap. So you have to time it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So put it like closer to the wind, which it's weird. That's not how windmills work. Push it closer to the source of the wind. And then as it is blowing by, the sweet potato frighter, activate it as it's passing and then run down to grab it in time.
Yeah. And then he won't come into town until you give him some bopsicles, big bopsicles or regular bopsicles, so he can glide back because the floor is hot. But we need to go to the sugar pine woods for that. So we have a little while before we get that. We cannot finish this guy's quest.
No.
Which is ordinarily something that I feel like game design does on purpose. Like, stop trying to pursue this and complete this guy's side quest stuff. Go do other stuff first. Yeah. It does not feel very artfully done to me here. Most of the time you can just chug somebody's quest and then move on to the next person. Yeah. So if you have that heuristic where you like finishing out a whole quest line, here it stops you from doing it.
Yeah, it'll stay dangling for a bit.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about Crombo's personality. He's like a little gruff, angry guy.
Yeah. He's always looking for an angle. He's got deals.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
So
that guy, that's his character, is what he does.
that is him. The end. Nobody loves him. He doesn't have a relationship.
Nope. He just gets paired off with Beffica by default.
Yep. Yep. So when you head back with Wiggle back in town, Filbo starts up a campfire, and everyone decides to tell ghost stories.
Right.
This is the chapter break for this. Mm-hmm. The Grumpuses have been seeing strange things around the island. People who used to live there had disappearing bodies. Triffany brings up they've seen like a creature.
Yep.
About that is when the reveal for what that is great.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen for a long time.
Yeah. And Beffica, as the gossip says, just we've got a cannibal here ourselves. I saw Floofty mowing down on a leg, just eating on a Grumpus leg herself. You know, and say, oh, this is nonsense.
Yeah, nobody likes each other still.
Right.
At one point, Filbo needs to step away, so he's to the restroom. He's gone for a while, so we go check on him, and there's something growling in the outhouse. Filbo didn't go in, and now we go in. The toilet is empty. Dun dun dun. Again, the reveal of what this is cool.
Yeah.
But then Wiggle sings a song about the Bugsnax Queen that makes me want to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on forever, and it's not a good song. It's not catchy. It's well sung, but it is infinite.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate Wiggle.
Too many verses on this bad boy.
Yep. And then this becomes, we talked about they just have one character trait. I guess her other thing is she's constantly going on about the Bugsnax Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But like, shut the fuck up. We're kind of like, other than Carrie, and we're on Shut the Fuck Up month. On Waffle, I'm just like constantly telling my Switch, shut the fuck up. And just like, be quiet, Wiggle.
Yeah.
Stop talking. This is not adding anything. Enough.
Yeah.
Your mouth.
So yeah, they've got their personality quirk, which is just their voice, and then their pet theory about what is going on.
Yeah. Very frustrating. Mm-hmm. We hear a noise coming from the old mill, and we think this is the monster. We go there, and this is our jock Grumpus named Chandlo. He's a jock, surfer dude guy. Mm-hmm. He stopped by to get some supplies, but he's leaving again, and this opens up the way.
Right.
To Sugar Pine Woods, where Chandlo and his partner Snorpy, they don't confess their love for each other until a little bit in.
Right.
But there's no reason for them to love each other. Mm-hmm. Chandlo is a dumb jock. Mm-hmm. Snorpy is conspiracy theorist / inventor.
Yeah.
Two of them have to kind of be scientists for the plot, but it doesn't. There's some weird overlap.
They're not differentiated that well enough, because both of the scientists are antisocial and hate you.
Yeah. And until the end, hate each other.
Yeah.
These are two guys. This is a gay couple.
Yes. It is not apparent at first. My initial read on them was, they're brothers. Like that's why Chandlo is acting protective of Snorpy in a way that feels like, hey, I've got to look out for them.
It'd make a lot of sense to have like the nerdy. It'd be like a Raceland. Like having the jock brother, nerdy brother,
Raceland Caramon kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a trope.
Yeah,
but it turns out it's a different. I guess maybe there's a trope of like conspiracy theorist gay guy and jock gay guy. That I don't know.
I'm ignorant. I don't want to get out of my lane on this one.
I just don't know. But that's what these guys are. Mm-hmm. So Snorpy won't leave his cabin. Chandlo wants you to help him, and then eventually Snorpy says, I will leave if you help Chandlo. So like everything, you just have to go do the tasks.
Yeah.
Chandlo wants you to feed him snails. These guys are out of reach. They tend to stay far away. So these guys, you have to launch the trap at them.
Yeah.
And then catch them to work. And then honeybees, which are flying guys. These guys are real cute. Mm-hmm. Honeybee. And they will stick to launch traps because they are honey.
Yeah. Chandlo also, he's just throwing basketballs everywhere. He gives you a grappling hook item saying like, hey, go get my basketballs for me. And it's like, man, these are like $25 a piece.
The grappling hook in this is, I find a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
I like a grappling hook. This one doesn't do very much. Like the action is satisfying. Mm-hmm. It does become a way to kind of like annoy a Bugsnax.
Yeah.
From far away and get its attention, but you can't use it on very many Bugsnax.
No. Just a little pester stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for the bags of pretzels, which are one of my favorites because they're like hard to find but easy to catch.
Yep.
Because it's already just a bag. Like it's, you know.
I don't want to make this sound like it's a criticism on the developer. I just think that the joke of, oh, we need a snack, oh, it's just a bag of something, is incredibly lazy in a very fun way.
Yeah. I think it is intentionally funny and it made me laugh.
Yeah.
So made me chuckle. 2 laughs in this game. That's not one of them, but it made me smile.
But Chandlo says, hey, I won't leave. He won't leave unless I get Snorpy to agree to go back. And this has us working with Snorpy with a different tool, one that's a little bit more interesting, the trip shot, saying, hey, go catch me this cookie, which is a little bug. It's like an Oreo kind of deal. He wants to replace his teeth so he can avoid tracking. And this trip shot, you set the device down itself, and then you launch a little line into something else, and that will trip up anything that runs by it.
Yeah.
So you just have to trip up the cookie as it's going by.
It causes a little explosion that will stun most Bugsnax.
Right.
Not all, but most. And the kind of the gameplay wrinkle to this thing is it can't be stuck to everything.
Right.
So you have to find the correct surfaces to get the lines across. For this. After we do this, he wants you to catch 2 Charmellows to further his kind of cloaking. He also at one point wants to have them in his mouth because he likes the taste. The idea of turning your teeth into a food you really like is interesting to me. In like a Cenobite offer kind of way.
You're not gonna have those teeth for long.
No, I know. I eat them. But as I don't know, like you have like 1 day to live.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, I was trying to think of the longest I could eat any food. So yeah, like 1 day to live, but I could turn them into, I don't know, hush puppies or something. Yeah. Not so bad. So you have to get these guys, you have to lure them into the bodies of bopsicles. They're on fire. Bopsicles are icy. This makes the bopsicles explode into 2 bopsicles, which is nice, which we can use, which are funny because that's how popsicles work. Those little twin sickles. And then 2, this gives us skates for Grumpus or Crombo.
Yeah, sorry.
He has a Grumpus, but that also sounds like a fake name.
Squares and rectangles.
Yeah, it's all these Tim and Eric names.
Yeah, the Charmallows are kind of the first complex one. Like this is the first multi-step kind of deal. Yeah. So you finish these, and another meme moment from this, Chandler's like, all right, we got to get Snorpy out of his house. He goes to lift it up, and just like, I'm lifting your house, bro. Yeah.
He says bro a lot. He's a jock. No jokes. Once we do this, Philbo says, hey, it's time to take a rest. So you have to go take a nap. When you do, you wake up to a scream in the night. Gramble and Beffica saw what looked like a person, but it flew apart into a swarm of Bugsnax. Awesome. So good. Even if it were just body parts, like if you imagine a person and then they crumbled into arms and legs that crawled away. I mean,
you basically just described the Crash Test Dummies cartoon.
A+. Scared the shit out of me, the Crash Test Dummies cartoon. I mean, it didn't, but that for horror is really cool.
It is.
Yeah. So we had to search around for evidence for this, kind of going around just clicking our little snackoscope there. There's like footprints. There is somebody carved "No more Bugsnax" into the Snacksburg sign. Everyone is real scared, and it's to me it's pushing towards like we're the real monsters all along.
Yeah,
is where I thought this was like, oh, the Bugsnax are sentient. Yeah, and that's the dark twist.
Not quite. I'm glad they didn't go that direction.
Yeah, I knew there was a dark twist because enough people had alluded to it, but that's what it felt like they were leaning towards.
Yeah, I'm happy they swerved it.
I mean, even if they were sentient, we got to see like their city and their culture. Like, what if they talked and they had sparkling, like complicated dialogue?
Oh,
like they were not only sentient, but they were more sentient than the Grumpuses.
Yeah.
Like you go in there and there's Disco Elysium, but with like fucking bungers and stuff. Like that'd be incredible.
Oh, and it was like just a complete genre shift once he got to them. Yeah.
Incredibly literary, like Kentucky Route Zero, Kentucky Fried Zero.
Oh my gosh. But Philbo manages to keep everybody from freaking out, saying, hey, we got 3 more people to come back, then we can figure it all. We can figure this out once they're back together.
Yep. And the new areas kind of arbitrarily open up. Floofty, we can go find the second half of Boiling Bay, or Boiling Bay, which is beyond Simmering Springs. Similar zones, but they're just separated by a wall. Yeah. Floofty is non-binary, which I only knew because characters were referring to them as they.
Yes.
There's nothing. They don't say it's not like the Beamdog Baldur's Gate thing where they're like, oh, you might have a question about my identity. Let me answer it for you. It is handled more subtly, which is why this game gets the credit for that and should. They want to help with their experiments. So you have to catch a red Benopter, which is a banana that jumps between trees. And this upgrades your Snaktoovator. This is the one that lets you tap into the memory.
Do the genetic memory.
Yes.
to go back to the Grumpus version of Renaissance Italy.
Yes, exactly.
It's Eopus.
Yeah.
Requiescat in pizza.
They have a missing leg, and this was how you restore it. With this thing. Yeah. And they find out here that Bugsnax are all the same. They just take different forms due to different stimuli. We had hints about this when they had turned into liquid in the Minnesotan throat. But it's just this kind of general all-purpose protein material.
Yes. And they're looking like snacks because that's what they want to be eaten, and they figure, okay, well, let's tailor ourselves to make it, to look like things that are familiar.
Yes.
And then they ask, hey, replace all of my limbs with cocomites. You just have to catch one, give them the genetic memory, and then use this upgraded Snaktoovator to make that happen. Cocomites are one of the ones where they are in a shell that you need to get out from a tree, then have a popsicle break it up and then trip them. So again, multiple steps in these deeper ones.
Yeah. Then their final request is to have all 4 of their limbs be a different Bugsnax. So they give us, it's prescriptive. It's not just any Bugsnax. We've already found most of them, but then we had to go catch a noodler from the lava cave nearby. In order to do this, we had to have a popsicle ram it from outside, which I did by sticking a sauce on my little hamster ball and having the popsicle chase it in.
I had the noodler, which is a little ambulatory bowl of ramen. I had it follow me out, which was pretty tricky.
Yeah, there's a little bit of emergent puzzle play in this.
Yeah. Floofty does not have anything more for us to do here. So they're going to continue their work back in town. And is just kind of raising these questions. As I eat this, the Bugsnax and become them, where does the original me go? This is where kind of those second order questions are being asked offhandedly as we leave their presence.
Yeah. All questions that any of the Grambles or Grumblos should have asked
before they started eating them. Yeah.
Or the first time one of their limbs turned into a watermelon or whatever.
If you stumble, no matter how cute it is, when you stumble into a Cronenberg situation,
Yeah. If my hand was a sandwich, I would have questions.
Yeah.
The second worst character we're going to meet when we go out to Sizzling Sands, which is a desert, Shelda, who is a hippie who likes meditation. Yes. I like that these quests don't deal with finding Bugsnax for them to eat. I hate her voice, and I hate how slow she speaks and her shtick.
Yeah, her shtick is that she talks in this very florid metaphor.
The end is nigh,
Yeah.
Like the Elder from Fallout 2.
Oh,
but not, not making fun of that. Like there are no jokes about it.
Right.
Like in that game, you can undercut that by calling him out. Here you're just like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll do the task because we're all Grampuses and we're all Muppets
at
on
one
this
point
fuck of an earth.
At one point, you kind of call her out for it, and she says, "It's a metaphor,"
Yeah.
and then goes back into it. Yeah.
Nobody should ever like this character. I can't believe they don't leave this character on the island. So she guru hippie character. She wants you to get she wants you to catch these things without hurting them. Just like you don't have to feed them. So you get some cheese sauce. You have to grab with your grappler. It grows on walls. Then bring her some egglers. I like the egglers. They're little eggs that are on the ground there, and you have to have a fire bug snack dive bomb it, which makes the egg hatch into a little hard-boiled egg that runs around. It's just beautiful.
It's a little sunny side up fella. I love him.
Yeah, a little sunny side up friend. I love them.
The next thing she wants us to do is break apart these praying picantuses. That one barely works, but these are burrito praying mantis guys. I guess they're dangerous, but we have to kind of lure them off of these platforms that they're on and down into some water where they blow apart into a whole bunch of different mons.
Yeah, but we don't have to catch them. We just have to blow them up.
Yeah.
And then there's a rare black raspy who's underground, and we need to guide them up.
Yeah.
This is where the you moving your little hamster ball.
Yeah, the ball. Yeah.
Thing gets the most annoying. Instead of just letting you control it, they give you all these little viewing platforms to get a kind of an overhead view of it, like an interface.
Yeah.
But maneuvering between them is very obnoxious. And the penalty for this is constant, like, stop it, do it again.
Yeah.
As these little underground things, I can't remember what they are. Little underground critters will stop you.
Yeah.
This is a pretty obnoxious.
No, I went down there and I cleared all of those out. I caught them and then discarded them. I sent them to the Phantom Zone.
What you can do. Yeah. Because you have, for some reason in this game, you have a limited inventory.
Yeah.
And you donate them to like the museum, which is the hillbilly guy's farm, in order to increase your carrying capacity.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, like, if you want to collect them all, it gets easier to collect them all if you do it. If you're not doing it, you just have to constantly be stopping and rearranging things in the fridge.
Yeah.
Which I found irritating. So.
Yeah. But yeah, this was frustrating just because as I changed vantage points, it was difficult to get the black raspberry to catch back on to me.
Yeah.
Especially if I changed rooms and it would start wandering backward. And I really felt like I was doing the worst kind of escort quest.
It's very stay close enough to this, but not too close.
Yes.
Kind of shit. In between all of these, what we're doing this is we're bringing people back to town so they'll consent to be interviewed. And when they do, they give you either a clue or a key that opens up a clue to Eggabell and what's her head?
Lisbert,
to their thing. And these take place in diaries and film strips and stuff where you see their relationship. Basically, Eggabell is a sad sack doctor who wants to prove herself to her capable Chad girlfriend.
Yeah, she does not want to be a burden. She wants to feel like she belongs here.
Yeah, she's very depressed.
Yeah.
Could be, need some therapy. So this, we're just getting these little hints. They don't really tell us anything. It's not like you're doing detective work. It's just the next area that opens up. That's where we're going to find Eggabell. Like when we get back, Triffany and Wampus have worked together to clear the avalanche. That brings up to Frosted Peak, which is where we can find Eggabell. We go up there. This is the snow zone. She's in a cave up near the top of the mountain.
Yeah. And she warns us off saying, hey, it is really unsafe for you to be here because of these earthquakes. However, I'm not going to go back until I find Lisbert. Just leave me alone.
Yep. She walks off and you were meant to follow her. I tried to catch a Bugsnax that was in here for some reason. I wish I hadn't. I wasn't trying to be completionist, but I was just like, what's that little guy? And tried to catch it. And then I had no idea where the fuck she went.
Yeah.
It was irritating to me. I should have followed her, told me to follow her. But again, like the game wants you to stop and smell the snacks. So now you follow her. She goes all the way down the mountain in front of this big sealed door with these statues of Bugsnax out in front of it.
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure out how to open it. So you need to pick up items that you got from interviewing the Grumpuses. This is not testing your completionism because you have to get these Grumpuses back to open up this area.
Yes.
You just have to have gone and done all the things that they initially asked. Even like they gave you a clue that was a key. You had to go open up the thing that it opened.
Yeah, go find the thing that it opens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're basically looking for these two different pieces of a note, but you find other stuff while you're doing it. Oftentimes you're following these incomplete treasure maps. And this is where I started noticing the Bugsnax humanoid looking at me from a distance.
Yep.
You know, and then just disappearing into a swarm of Bugsnax.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
You know, batting above its tenor here. You find out a bunch of stuff in here. You know, about this is where you find out about their personality. And we also find out that Floofty has been doing their experiments on Eggabell.
Yes.
And Lizbert is against it. Lizbert does not want any more of Eggabell's body to be snacktified.
Yes. She doesn't know exactly what's going on, or she's not explaining it, but she doesn't want it to continue happening.
Yeah. She knows something's up.
So we go back after we found all this stuff, returning to Eggabell with Lizbert's journal. We find out that we need to, to activate this door, we need to feed the right kind of Bugsnax to the correct statues lining the door. I like the way this is handled because you basically you do 3 and she does 3, and the 3 she does is determined by the 3 that you do.
Yep. So you get to do the 3 that you already have, or the 3 that you find the least annoying to capture. Which I really like.
Yeah.
For the next thing, we need 3 people because there are 3 little things to stand on. So we bring Filbo. Nobody likes Filbo, even Eggabell, for no real reason.
Right.
And this is where she just, again, the fucking Grumpuses are basically Pokemon, basically Bugsnax in this as well. Like, we're walking to this and he's like, I'm tired. And she's like, do you want me to check your vitals? And I'm like, I know you're a fucking doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah, shut up. Like, just me yelling at my Switch, shut up. Stop talking. So this doesn't work.
Right.
When we get there. And we eventually, when talking to Eggabell about this, she admits that Lizbert fell into the island while trying to save Eggabell.
Yeah. Eggabell was showing off and something happened, and that's when the earthquake tripped off. Yeah.
And we are on a greased rail to the end.
Right.
We get back there, and the Grumpuses are all at a party, but they don't like each other. So we have to do stuff to get them to dance. Yeah. These are things like, I need a little liquid courage. You go get them a beer. Like, and then the Crombo is like, I have too much beer to sell. But once you get rid of his beers, he no longer has enough beer to sell. Like, you're doing a little task for each person.
Shelda's like, I shall not join the dance floor until there's a loud crack and paper falls, and you've got to pick up a rock and throw it at a little party popper above her, make confetti fall.
Real quick, because we alluded to it. Okay. We're not really talking about side stuff in this game. Wampus's side stuff involves him wanting you to plant Bugsnax to try to grow them like plants. Oh, this is where you get the and it doesn't work, but you get the incredibly weird thing where he says maybe the problem is he doesn't have a fertilizer, and he asks you to go follow Filbo to the bathroom. You wait for Filbo to finish using you have to feed Filbo something that will make him shit. Filbo goes to the bathroom, and then you find that Filbo has bagged up his shit next to the toilet for you to bring back.
Oh no. Maybe that's why they don't like Filbo.
Yeah. Filbo. Use the toilet like it's intended, Filbo.
There's a toilet there. Like, we're not hiking the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, you don't have to pack it in and pack it out, dude.
Okay, Howard Hughes. Like, you don't have to fucking save it. But that was the other good laugh this got out of me. Finding, like, I was like, how are they gonna handle me harvesting shit from a fucking outhouse in this game? And it just is in a little bag I get to carry. That was already set up. Big laugh out of me. Along with funny. Cactus Wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Wombus. I said MIP, which is almost like MIB VIP. Sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah, major league Wampus. Wampus is good. So you do these little puzzles to get them to dance here. This is where you convince Snorpy to express his real feelings for Chandlo. This is cute. I don't think these characters should like each other. There's nothing to like about either of them. But I like this little bit where Chandler's like, no, dude, we've been dating for years. Like, You know, like this has been official.
Uh-huh.
You know, but then it's like, hey man, you know, maybe we should kiss and stuff. And I was like, man, wait, I don't understand what the Grumpus's, you know, urges. And I'm not trying to do any kind of like ace erasure or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Chandlo for not realizing that they're not together when they don't like, you know, show affection.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cute beat, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's shrugging. I don't know these. I don't know what a wampus is. So
yeah, I guess Grumble. Like I don't know how their whole thing works.
Grumpus. Yeah.
Grumpus. But it's a cute scene. Like where, you know, him just reassuring him like, dude, you know, we've actually been together forever. Like that's sweet.
Mm-hmm. You got nothing to worry about, buddy. That's it. Yeah. It's always good. It's always good when a character says you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I found that touching.
Yeah. So as everybody's dancing, we go talk to Filbo. He's just kind of standing up on a balcony overlooking everybody. And a new earthquake starts. Things are going bad. Eggabell runs up and says, "Hey, this might be our only chance to save Lisbert since she went, you know, missing during an earthquake. And you know, we need to head away, 3 of us again. So me, Lisbert, and Filbo to go make it happen." Eggabell has figured out that like, the order that we press the buttons in Lisbert's note, it was reverse. We need to do it the other way. And we do good.
She says, she wasn't perfect after all.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know which way she was facing the buttons at. There's only 3 of them. You ding dong.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe you didn't try this before.
Yeah.
You know, you grumpuses, man. Empty head.
Yeah.
On the grumpuses. But
doing it this way opens the big door that we were studying and gets us into the Undersnacks.
Yes. You walk in, but then you fall through a pit. This is all great.
I love
from
this.
Here on in, basically, like you're in this gigantic bio cave stomach thing made of food.
Yep. No rocks. It's all Bugsnax. The entire island is Bugsnax.
It's all food. This is where you see the snack squatch. And you can take a picture of it. This like golem made of different Bugsnax as a grotesque like approximation of a Grumpus.
That's so good.
You know, put together. I just absolutely love it. Like vegetable gremlin shit.
Yeah.
And we get down to the base of it. We get to the core of this where we're just surrounded by Bugsnax just watching us. You know, really hard to understate how this is like a really good moment. This is good. Very creepy. And meet Lisbert, who is now this gigantic like Placidus axe.
Yeah,
of Bugsnax.
She's a huge dragon bug thing. It's just it's her body, but like replacing the head of this gigantic beast that like rears up, and she's still aware. She's still talking to you, and she's horrified that you've fallen down here too. You know, and that you're seeing what she has become.
Yep. And she explains. She says, you know, this is what Bugsnax are. They're parasites. They get into your body and they change it. They make you want them until you are entirely Bugsnax. And that's how new Bugsnax show up. She fell on the island and the Bugsnax swarmed her. And she is now kind of part of this hive mind. She's holding back Bugsnax Island.
Mm-hmm. That's
what these earthquakes are, is Bugsnax Island, like her arguing with the Bugsnax of the island.
Mm-hmm. And it's just barely holding. And Eggabell runs in, and Lizard's like, "No, you need to get away. You know, leave me behind." And Eggabell's like, "No, fuck you. We'll figure this out." And then she joins the Bugsnax dragon. Like she becomes the second head on this thing.
The dragon picks you up and throws you back to town, or throws you back to civilization. Here, you wake up in Flavor Falls, and you wake up Filbo, who is there. And I was like, for a second, I thought I was in a time loop because it's the same thing that happens at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was very confused because the register of the sophistication of storytelling was shifting so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like I thought we were going into full visual novel bullshit. Like I had no idea here, but this is just a cute little callback.
Yeah. Yeah. And the island is changing. Parts of it are very more clearly made out of food. Like it is dropping the pretense of trying to disguise itself from you.
Yes. We get back there and we find Snorpy. Snorpy is fixing your airship, and he gives you a deadly version of the trap tool that you have. And all of these characters, this is cute. Mm-hmm. So your final challenge in here is to go to these little stations and rescue people as Bugsnax are flying at them trying to be eaten.
Yep.
And you have deadly versions of your tools that will kill the Bugsnax. If you complete a character's side quest completely, they will not eat a Bugsnax.
Okay.
They'll refuse them. They've realized the Bugsnax are not the answer. But it's also your performance. Like it's a Dutch way to handle it, I think. Like if you did I don't like it when completionism just gives you a golden ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find that, I feel like that's predatory, on certain people. The way this works is completionism will give you the golden ending, but also doing fine at these mini games will also do it. Yeah. And the margin for error is pretty wide. Yes. Like I wasn't perfect at any of these. My little idiots ate some Bugsnax, but none of them ate enough to turn into full Bugsnax and die. Right. They can die here. That didn't happen for me. I managed to save everybody. Yeah,
I managed to save everybody. And I think that this is cool. Like all the stuff that we've been doing with no stakes before, now we're doing it with stakes, and it's more of an action game kind of deal. But we've spent enough time using these tools that I don't feel like they're throwing me into the deep end and expecting me to, pick up an entirely new skill. Yes. With this change of the game,
which is what they were going to do. The original version of this turned it into a tower defense.
Yeah.
But they felt bad about, changing the control scheme right at the 11th hour. I love tower defense, and I think Bugsnax tower defense would be an iOS game I'd be like way into. Yeah. But I also like that the way that they just recontextualize the tools. Here, I think this is deft.
Yeah. But you go to several different stations. At each of them, there are two grumpuses that you need to help out with a different tool. Like the sauce slinger one is fun. It's like a little shooter. Kind of deal. Yeah. But eventually, you rescue everybody or do as good as you can and then get back up to the airship and try to take off. But like shit's really popping now. As you're trying to fly away, we get overtaken by this gigantic watermelon bug that is in the key art for the game. I was like, when am I going to catch that big fucking watermelon?
He's one of the bosses.
Oh, it's legendary. It's a legendary Bugsnax.
It is a legendary bug. If you could do all the side quests, you get to go catch him.
Oh yeah.
With somebody. There is a gigantic sushi roll that's like a big serpent. There is the gigantic pizza moth. There is this guy, the gigantic watermelon guy, and then there is another one that I cannot recall. But yeah, there are 4 of them, and you follow the side quest to get them.
So you do get to fight Mothsa?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. You get to fight all of them. It's just you do 4 of the different grumpuses have side quests that lead to these. Again, I watched them all online. I did not want to do all the grumpus side quests. I'm not sorry about it. Be mad about it if you want to,
but we don't have to fight them now. Lisbert and Eggabell rise up as their own little dragon and keep them busy so we can leave. And we end up on this beach, kind of taking stock and talking to each of these characters, getting a final goodbye to figure out kind of what's next for them.
Yeah, on this little beach, get their thoughts on what happened. We talked to our editor. Editor is very happy about the story. And we brought along Philbo, who is fully recovered. Philbo's our little girl Friday from now on, but we are fired and considered legally dead. The story will not be published. It'll be covered up. This is because of the conspiracy, as you mentioned. We decide to help Philbo run for mayor in real life. And then we get our credits, and then we get the post-credits Metal Gear Solid thing with the editor talking to a character again you meet through the DLC, asking if we know the truth. They couldn't just make us disappear. The hope is that we're too dumb to spread the word about the Bugsnax.
Yeah, nobody will believe them. And it ends on their little Latin phrase, tu quid edas, omni vivum ex Bugsnax. You are what you eat. Every living thing comes from Bugsnax.
Yep. You also, on the little boat that you escaped from, you see a little strawbee.
Nice.
Implying that, again, they've made it to the mainland.
Nice.
And that's Bugsnax. A game that where for an hour longer, I would like it less.
Right.
It's, I liked it. It was cute. I love the little critters. I like the basic gameplay loop. It did not outsay its welcome.
Yeah.
For me.
All my complaints, I feel like we made them before. Dialogue should always be an opportunity to advance something. A lot of the dialogue here just kind of felt like it was taking up space, which is a bummer because obviously they were trying to make these characters into, likable things, like likable figures that had, they just didn't. They didn't do anything with the space. Oh no.
definitely for us. Like, there are people who really love the writing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I think it goes into, the 2022, the year Gary realizes that this 42-year-old man is not in the pocket for very young children's media.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't need everything to be adult or edgy, but Adventure Time are better.
Yeah.
Is what I need.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like this is a really cool kind of a scale of a game to have. I'm happy that it was successful. And it gave us Bunger. It gave us all these cool little designs. So that is neat. And it also gave us this episode. And thank you very much, Cody, for executive producing this and getting me to play it.
Yeah, we really appreciate you. If you would like to get our bonus episodes, if you would like to sponsor an episode, if you would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. You can also leave us ratings, reviews on Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict. If you are a non-cis white straight dude and you have a project and would like us to draw some attention to it, send them to me at Gary@Duckfeed.tv. For our highlight section, this episode we're highlighting Rod Simba, who is a music producer who does things for the kind of sports industry, so like ESPN, short films, but wants to branch out into games. So if you're an indie dev and you're looking for someone to do some music production for your game, hit up Rod. It's either Rod Simba, that's RODSYMBA @gmail.com, or on Instagram at Rod Simba, RODSYMBA.
Cool.
They're also on Twitter.
Nice.
So yeah, and checking it out, it looks like Rod's done a bunch of cool stuff.
Nice.
So, again, if you have something you'd like us to highlight, Gary@Duckfeed.tv.
Mm-hmm. If you have thoughts about Bugsnax, Metal Gear Solid 5, or Carrion, write in by the 15th of September at duckfeed.tv/contact. And if you have thoughts about October's games, which are Devotion, Strangeland, or The Evil Within 2, that deadline is October the 15th. As always, if you have thoughts about multiple games, please separate them into multiple responses.
Yeah. And I think that's about it.
I think so.
Yeah. We really appreciate you. Until next time, what should they watch out for, Cole?
Until next time, watch out for Mothsa.